Let's begin. Hey guys, yes, welcome to a brand new episode of The Talk with MacAnne. It is M to the A to the C to the A to the double N E. As you can see, I am not alone on your screen. I've got this beautiful, you can see how beautiful she is. She is intelligent, she is charming, she is eloquent, and she is adorable. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Stella.
Hello guys, my name is Stella, and it's really a privilege to be on the show, The Talk with MacAnne.
Yeah. Alright, so this is quite an impromptu video, so I want you to just, expect fun. You're going to laugh a whole lot, and then don't just expect something so smooth, but we're just going to have fun, and we're going to talk about the discovery process. So I think this should be the pioneer episode of the discovery series, where I'll be inviting guests to talk about their discovery journey. I'm going to give you a bit background to who Stella is, and then she is going to jump on the screen and say everything as it ought to be said. So Stella recently announced herself as an event compare, and I am super excited because it's also in line with what I do. In case you don't know, I'm a master of ceremony, and I'm also a personal development strategist. So when you see someone who is coming in line with what you do, I get excited. So I would want Stella to introduce herself, and also she's going to tell us in the course of this video how she eventually got to that point where she said, I think this is what I want to do. And then I also talk about my own discovery series, and then we're going to wrap up the show. So that is what you're going to expect on this episode. Over to you, Stella. Who is Stella? Apart from the beautiful, the fair, the pretty lady we're seeing, who is Stella?
Thank you, MacAnne. Thank you for this privilege again. Okay, so like she said, Stella is an event host. Stella is a presenter. Stella wasn't always an event host and a presenter. She didn't just wake up one day and decide to be an event host and a presenter. So today we are going to actually be discussing about how I decided I was going to be an event host.
Okay, so how? Like, okay, I think let me share a bit backdrop of my experience, how I became an event host, and then maybe Stella's gonna share a bit of that. So in the year, let me not say, when I say in the year, it's looking like I want to say in the year 1972. No, it just happened in the year 2017. That was when it dawned on me, and I said, MacAnne, this is what you really want to do. How did I come about the name MacAnne? I think that should be another interesting thing some of you should know about. When I was a teenager, my name is Anne Amaka Obize, all right? So, and then MacAnne came as a fusion of Amaka and Anne. But then I decided to change the K to a C because a lot of clowns were calling me MacAnne. I don't want that. But then, how did MacAnne come about? I was a teenager, and my mom looked at me one day and she was like, Anne and Amaka, if you join that together, it's going to be MacAnne, and that will sound interesting. I'm like, oh my God, MacAnne. And since then, you know what happened to Jesus when Mary discovered something about Jesus, and when she saw Jesus doing that, the Bible says she hid it in her heart. She just kept it as a secret. So that was it for me. I just hid that in my mind, knowing that someday in the future, that name is going to open doors. And yes, the name is come to play. So 2017 was my final year as an undergraduate. But before then, I have been serving as secretary, and also I served as secretary in my school fellowship. So I was always the person who was out there making announcements, calling on speakers, blah blah blah, and the rest of it. Before then, while as a teenager, I tried presenting for the first time, but it didn't work out, so I gave up on presenting. But later on, people started reaching out to me and like, oh, MacAnne, all right, come and anchor this event. We're having this, we're having that. And then that was how that year 2017, I anchored a couple of events. And after that, I said, okay, why not give this? I made some research. And then I didn't know at that point in my mind, I thought I was the only female MC. Little did I know that God has reserved 1,000 more out there and 1,000 yet to come. And Stella is one of those yet to come.
Thank you, boss.
my mentor, Joyce Daniels, and then I kept following her. And yeah, MC is something I enjoy doing. I have fun while doing it. It's also an expression of my talking gift, so I enjoy talking. So that is how my own discovery for MC came about. So Stella, what happened? How did it happen? Why? How did you know that this is something I want to be recognized as or to be associated with?
Okay, this started after I got admission to study mass communication in the University of Nnamdi Azikiwe. And at that point in time, I was like, I entered the class and they were like, you know, as you study mass communication, you're going to be a newscaster, you sit in front of a TV. And I was paying in my mind, I don't want to be a newscaster.
Okay.
I don't want to be reading news in front of TV. You look down, you look up. It was practically so boring to me. So I decided that if I was going to make use of good use of my certificate, I had to find out what I was good at. Also, service in like some specific place, my campus fellowship too, also opened a door for me to find out, okay, I'm good at talking, I'm good at communicating with people, I can bring up things, I can engage the audience, and so I needed to put it into good and profitable use. So I told myself, why not just try out and be like a presenter, an event host? People need to see, people need to share with the knowledge you have. And then I started discovering some mentors, some persons up there, persons like MacAnne, my boss, she's the closest. So I was like, no, I needed to like focus on this, like those people around me. I discovered Sewa Amira Hair. I discovered Temi. I also discovered Ayomario Ise. So these people were part of those that encouraged me. I was like, okay, I need to go. I haven't fully decided if, okay, I'm going to fully be a presenter, because I have this thing for, you know, photography, photojournalism and all that. But in the meantime, while waiting for that, this is something that is in me. This is something I can do. So I told myself, why not just try it out, put it into good use. If it works out for you, this is the path you're supposed to be in. Go there.
Exactly. You know, like I always say, you never can tell how good you are unless you start. So, you know, start. You may not end up doing that thing in life, but the discovery process doesn't just happen once. You just got to keep trying different things. So you come to that point where you find that one, your heart sticks to it, and you want to do it for life. So what makes you excited? What makes your heart leap for joy?
In what aspect?
In every aspect. What is that thing that when you find yourself doing it, you get excited? What makes you happy? I think that.
Okay, communicating with people, you know, sharing knowledge, finding out, listening to people who are intellectual in something and finding out, okay, there's some ideas that need to be harnessed, that need to be, you need to get hold of, and then also being able to share it with people, being able to sit down with people and discuss some certain things and find out that, okay, there is so much more. If you have this knowledge, there are certain things you can do with it. So it gives me joy, just discussing with people, bringing up ideas to help develop the society, to help develop things around you, intellectual conversation. Like it just gives me so much, knowing that, especially with young persons, knowing that they are young persons. So like I have conversations with people that talk about Tony Enumelu, and they have quite enough knowledge about how things work, how he started his business and how it grew. So when I hear those conversations among youths, it makes me know that, you know, there are people around that are so, which word should I use? That are interested in making a huge impact, a change in the society. So we are getting somewhere, and those are what gives me a whole lot of joy.
All right.
Those are what
so we're going to go on a commercial break, and when we are back, we're going to be wrapping up this episode of the show. Guys, welcome back to the Talk with Mac. And before we went on that break, I had Stella as my guest, and we have been talking about her discovery experience. So right about now, before we wrap up today's show, I want to ask Stella, how was it before you discovered this you now? Did you ever see yourself doing what you are doing now? What were the things you were doing before that led to this new you that will soon, blossom, and everyone is going to benefit from the whole potentials in you? So, just give us a backdrop. Let's go back, way back.
Okay.
Back.
Okay. Before now, a few years before now, I saw myself as someone that when she finishes school, she's wearing a wig and a big coat, going from one court to another, arguing from morning till night, and getting good cash from the arguments. Then when life now moved me to another direction, I saw myself as still someone that was based on like a certificate. What would you do with this certificate when you're done? Like school certificate. Then along the line, I discovered that I had so much I could achieve aside the certificate, aside the school certificate. I discovered I got to see the world as something who believes in people that believes in themselves, as a world that is ready for those who are willing to go into it with their full potentials and discover who they were. So I discovered that if I was going to be ready for the world outside, I needed to find out who I truly was. I needed to find out what service can I give to those around me, what service can I give to the world. I needed to stop the mentality of, okay, I'm done with school, I'm done with this certificate. What can the world give me for going to school? Okay, I found out that the world is not a place that is waiting just to give you. You have to have something to give them, and then you're going to benefit from it. So that was what cleared my mind on a whole lot of things. So I was still eager in going to school and getting more, but it wasn't just because I wanted to graduate and get a certificate. It was because I needed to get the real knowledge of what is being taught, what is the secret behind these things that are being taught, how can it be beneficial, how can it be of service outside the world. And so that was when my life changed, that was when my thinking changed, that was when my priorities changed. And since then, life has been moving smoothly, sweet, and amazing to the glory of the God.
And you're enjoying life.
Oh my goodness.
Something I've learned from, I know Stella for some years now, and something I've learned from her experience is that most times there are times where when God is taking us through a series of processes, you don't understand what God is doing, but He knows the end. At times you're just going to get fed up and you're like, God, why the delay? Why this delay? Others are moving ahead. Why am I stuck? Why does it seem as if things are not working the way I want it? But at the end, He has the perfect will, and He knows the end from the beginning. And if you can, be willing to trust Him through the journey, at the end, you're just going to be smiling like Stella. Because God has a lot that He has deposited in you, and it is not God's duty to come and help you discover it. No, it's just like the ultimate search. If you watch the good ultimate search of those days, they would hide that treasure in one bush, and then you see everybody trying to look for it. So that's the same way. You're going to do that diligent study to go through the process and look down within yourself to discover that treasure that is lying deep inside of you. I know it's there. You may not be seeing it now. You're looking around your circumstances and you're feeling like this is not it. But I know it's there. I know it's there. So believe me when I say it's there. I am impacting it to you. Alright guys, don't mind me. But that's the truth. So whatever happens in life, the whole process is towards your becoming. So Stella, what is your final word as we wrap up this episode?
Okay, I just want to encourage several persons that will be watching this. There's a lot of potentials in each and every one of us, and if we keep on having this mentality that the world owes us this, the government owes us this, our family owes us this, friends owes us this, because we feel we've done something to a particular degree, we are not really going to get it. The world is a very large place, and it's for those who are willing to search, go deeper, keep applying for stuffs, keep researching, keep getting to know people. It might seem now like a futile effort. Maybe you're looking for the profits of what you're doing. It might seem so futile now, but if you keep going for it, you will find out that particular place you're meant to be in that particular place God has called you to work in. God has called you to help and be of service to humanity. And at the end of the day, you'll be glad you did it. So don't relent. Just keep going. Keep going.
Powerful.
And trust in God. Trust in God. Seek Him for direction. Whenever you feel lost at a particular point in time, go back to Him. He's our maker. He has the blueprints of what is in our life, what we are supposed to do. So whenever there is any mix-up, any crossroad, go back to him.
Okay, so there you have it. She has said so many deep words. First of all, drop that mindset of entitlement. A lot of young people are feeling so entitled. The government owes me this, my parents owe me this, blah blah blah. But you've got to drop that, and then always remember, whenever you are at that crossroad where you are confused, seek for the ancient path. And how do you seek for it? Go back to the master. He has the blueprint of your life, and when you begin to work with him side by side, you're going to experience, it's not going to be totally smooth, but as long as you have him with you, you will experience peace even in the midst of storm. All right, so yes, I go by the name MacAnne, and this is Stella. All right, so join me on another episode of the Discovery series, where I'll be getting different personalities, big, old, young, tall, short, every kind of person. I'm gonna get them here to share their Discovery series. Sometimes it's going to be impromptu. I'm just going to walk into the office and say, sir, come and share your Discovery series with my people. So anyhow you see it, but trust me, I am all about your growth and personal development. If you're yet to subscribe, click on the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and don't miss out on weekly content I deliver. I love you.